It just doubles your business by just understanding clearly how to do one extra strategy. Hey, CLothier here, and today I'm going to talk to you about two very specific ways to scale your wholesaling business without spending $1 extra on marketing. You can only scale a business three ways. One way to scale is bigger transactions. Two is more transactions. And three is profiting more from existing transactions. And this is the one I'm going to talk to you about today. In most cases, you're throwing away probably 95% of the opportunities that come your way. On average, a wholesaler is, or anybody, quite frankly, any investor is closing, getting under contract, doing a deal on about 5% of the opportunities that come their way. And at 5%, by the way, you're crushing it. But imagine if you could double that. You've already invested, let's just say it's 20 leads, right? Again, at 5%, that means you're bringing in 20 leads. And to get one deal, that's 5%. So there's 19 opportunities sitting on the sidelines here. How do you get more out of them? One of the easiest ways to do this is to ultimately learn and understand another strategy. And in the last few months, I finally have been awakened to the opportunity with a really good friend of mine by the name of Eddie Speed, who does seller financing. He creates opportunities with people, walks into their homes, in 19 of these cases, it only takes one, and talks to them about buying their house on terms. You're gonna buy a house one of two ways, and I never really thought about this, right? And I've been doing this for a very, very long time. But he's just right. Either you're gonna buy that house on price or you're gonna buy it on terms. Imagine if you walked into a house and you had no competition. And what I mean by that is that no competition means I'll walk into a house and tell you, I'll pay you whatever you want. Everybody else is trying to buy your house for $100,000. You wanna sell it for $150,000, I'll give you $150,000. Now, my condition for $150,000 is I get to name the terms. And what does that look like? Well, that means that I'm gonna put $5,000 down, and you're going to finance the $145,000 over a 30-year note at 0% interest, or something along. When you have the ability to go into a seller and negotiate a deal with them on terms where they feel like they won, and you are simply wiping the floor with your competition, that changes the entire ballgame. You're sitting in front of these appointments today, but you've got one trick, only one, and if that one doesn't work, you're out the door. If you just learn another one, it only does one thing for you. Last time I checked, if you go and it goes to like this, it just doubles your business by just understanding clearly how to do one extra strategy. I'll make sure I include Eddie's contact information and how you can watch a training with him in the next few days. It is going to simply blow your mind. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your company, to your family, to your organization, to arm yourself and arm the people that are out there sitting down with these sellers, arm them with enough information to do multiple strategies. You're paying for the lead anyway. You bought it. You paid $150, right? You're $3,000 into this. Imagine if you cut it in half to $1,500. It's a double win all the way around. Number one is learn how to buy with seller financing. Terms. Number two, the second thing I want to share with you, I have a really good friend that shared this with me, but a gentleman by the name of Brett Tanner, and quite frankly, it's one of the smartest things I've ever heard, is that in most cases, you're wholesaling deals to flippers, rehabbers, people that are ultimately going to buy that property and have to fix it up. And in most of those cases, they are out there and they're having to line up private money for the deal. Just imagine if you were the private money lender. What we're not doing is combining the two books of business. I'll wholesale you the deal, but if you want me to wholesale it to you, you have to borrow the money for the deal back from me. Now I'm profiting from the transaction twice. When you're looking at all this, and so I'm going to say private money, when you're looking at this, and one of the things that we really talk about in our CEO intensives that are happening basically every 2 months, we do a CEO intensive, we bring 12 people in and kind of walk them through these strategies, because this isn't talked about, but we walk them through these strategies and show them exactly how to do these types of things in their business and profit heavily from things that they've never considered before. It is just critical to expand your mind and think about the opportunities differently. This costs you no more money, and these things are happening with you regardless of whether you're involved or not. I'll leave you with this. Ask yourself this simple question. Who owns the transaction after you? When you wholesale the deal to somebody, what happens next? Well, they borrow money. They start hiring contractors. They start getting an AC guy, and when they get done, they have somebody that comes and does the staging, and then they come in and have a realtor list the property, and then they have somebody that comes and do the title work and the insurance. All of your one transaction creates about 50 more. The key to scaling a business is own as many of those transactions as you can. Hope that helps.